What's your advice for these graduates as they leave Biola?
Well, first, congratulations. But in terms of advice, I would say something that you don't begin when you graduate, but you do again and again every day, is to go before the Lord and say, God, open your word to me, open my heart to your word, and let this book always be very important to me, not as simply words on a page, but as a tool of your indwelling Holy Spirit for those who truly do have a relationship with God, who know Jesus Christ, which I think is most of you, but I would never assume it's all of you. I'm sure there's some unbelievers here, some that know they're unbelievers, and others that maybe think they're believers but haven't really come into a relationship with Christ. But it's to evaluate your spiritual life, say, God, speak to me through your word, and by the power of your Holy Spirit, give me the ability to live the life that is pleasing to you, that brings you glory, so that, 1 Corinthians 10:31, whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do all to the glory of God. Isn't that interesting? It doesn't say, whether you spend time in the Word, evangelize, go out in foreign missions, pray and attend church, do all to the glory of God. It says, when you're eating and when you're drinking and everything else. It takes very simple, basic things. So I would say don't draw a line in your life and have categories where there's the secular and the sacred. Your whole life before the Lord should be a sacred one of devotion to Him, so that when you're working, if you're working in a convenience store, if you're doing this or doing that, very simple, basic things, when you're playing sports, when you're listening to music, let your whole life be to the glory of God. And I would say continuously remind yourself through the day of the promises of God, that Christ is in you, Christ is with you, Christ has promised you an eternity with Him. He's given you gifts. He's given you a sphere of influence. He's entrusted money and material things to you that He calls upon you to share with others. Lord, make me your vessel today, here and now. Wherever you go, whatever you do, make it all about Jesus. And Jesus says, if you want to save your life, you're going to lose it. If it's all about me and making my life, that's what the rich fool was about. And Jesus says, no, if you want to save your life, you're going to lose it. But if you lose your life for my sake, you'll find it. That's the fulfilling life, the life of following Jesus.